anticlimactic. Молодец.
I can try it now.
Christoph, куда ты идешь?
Я иду в школу.
Hello again, welcome to Expat American. I am the Expat American here with my wife, who technically is also an Expat American even though she has a Russian accent. And today we want to ask the question, how does Moscow handle winter and snow? And how does that compare to winter in your city? So we're getting ready to go out, and we are in our foyer, which is big in Russia because there's lots of different things that you need to put on to go outside. Scarf I never used until I came here. I've learned to put it like this, like I'm choking myself, and then I fold it like so I don't have a triangle of flesh exposed to the winter air. And it's important also to have gloves in Russia because there's ice and you'll slip and fall and you can't have your hands in your pockets. You gotta have your hands free. And I recommend gloves that have finger holes because when you're making your YouTube videos, you have to have free fingers. And I've also noticed with our kids, the clothes they have to wear, they are like space suits. They're a little bit ridiculous as far as I can tell, but it's required. So here, Christoph or Maxime can look like a spaceman. The pants are normal pants, the boots are normal boots. Anything else, darling?
Well, in Florida where we're living, it never snows. In Russia we have a lot of snow during winter time. I was checking, they said sometimes when in Florida they have sometimes to get the artificial snow just for people to feel like it's Christmas time. And I was joking with you, like, we will need some more sun from you guys, and you need some, we can give you some snow.
So the snow has just been falling and falling all week, and they have tractors that come around and dump it wherever they can on the side of the road. And this, in my experience, will be frozen, and it will be here as a giant pile for months. And you can see it's dirty because the snow has been scraped up off the ground.
Well, in Florida, when it's below 0 degrees Celsius, the kids will not go to schools. In Russia, if I'm not mistaken, because I could be wrong, in my childhood, I think it should be minus 30 degrees for kids not to go to school.
So yesterday, I'm running around this corner doing my regular jog. And so I'm turning, my body's tilted, and I step, and I slip, and I fall like a tree, bam, right on the ground. If you look carefully, you can see there's like a thin layer of ice on everything. So I'm wondering, how am I gonna jog in Moscow? So Sveta, you know, I see like older people, and I see all the ice and snow, and I'm thinking, how do they not just die? And when I fell yesterday, it was like jumping up and really hurting, and I was thinking, hopefully no one saw me, hopefully no one saw me, and hopefully I didn't break my hip because I'm 48. And I'm just wondering, how do, especially older people, survive all this ice all over the place for like 5 months or however long it is?
Well, they've been living here for their whole life, so they kind of, I think they adjusted that they need to be always careful when it's icy. Also, we have some, in the past we had some sand they'll put on the asphalt, and now they have some kind of chemicals which will keep it not that slippery.
Like salt, is that right?
It is salt, but also other chemicals. I don't know exactly the names.
Pebbles on everything.
Right, it's a type of chemicals. I'm not sure how exactly it calls. Maybe there are some experts who would know.
I like how they have swept the area for the kids to still have a spot to play and not just the sidewalks. So hun, one of the things I love about Moscow is how there's just teams of people constantly cleaning the streets and cleaning the sidewalks. And I remember we were staying with your mom on vacation and we were there for a month taking care of some stuff and I didn't have a whole lot to do. And I went out one morning, it was heavy snow and it was like someone snapped their fingers and all these teams of guys came out synchronized with their shovels and their brooms and it's snowing and they're clearing the sidewalks for everybody. And by the time they get done, they're just doing it all over again. I was like, am I in a musical? Are they gonna start singing and dancing? Is this Mary Poppins or what? And I just couldn't believe that Moscow had all these guys doing this everywhere, all over the city. And hon, what's this?
Hey, that's called the roof. I'm just kidding. So actually that's the roof. It's a construction to save people's lives sometimes because every year people die from falling snow and icicles from the roofs. Also that's for rain, like when it heavy rains, so you can be covered with this roof.
So hun, I had heard that about the falling ice when spring comes and everything's melting, you have chunks of ice falling off the buildings and it literally lands on people's heads and kills them. I was just wondering, because that's a piece of glass and it's thick and of course it's going to stop most things, but would it stop a piece of ice that would be heavy enough to actually kill someone? That's just what I was thinking about. I don't know. I'm from Florida.
Yeah, so in this period of time you always would need to watch for icicles, especially like if you're close to the buildings, especially if you're close to the old buildings somewhere in the center, because that's where we have a lot of icicles on the buildings.
Right. My thought is that the icicles and all the ice on the ground, it's kind of like if you're born here and you grow up with it, you're used to it and you know without thinking how to manage it.
Right, it's like your instinct.
Yeah, like I grew up in Florida and you have to always wear sunglasses. And you have to always watch out for alligators. If you're near water, you should always be paying attention to whether or not there might be something in the water.
Yeah, in Florida, I don't know how you guys, it took me time to adjust how you can guys drive in the water. Like you almost, swim there, like float when it's heavy raining.
Oh yeah, the flooding? Right.
Yeah.
Our local mall, all the planters covered in snow. So Sveta, I noticed that the basketball courts are sitting in like a shallow tub and someone, I think it was you who told me that they actually fill it up with water and then it freezes and becomes a tiny hockey court for wintertime.
Yes, they do. In the winter they freeze, and also we have a lot of natural ponds, like little lakes, and they naturally freeze during winter time. That's the places where people and kids can ice skate in winter time.
So outside the mall here, they have the big shelf I see for falling ice.
Wow, now it's raining. Talking about winter, when I was at school, when I was a child, so we had these physical education classes. And for physical education classes, we were skiing. So we actually took 2 hours, like maybe 2 times a week, when we would go to a forest, natural forest, and just ski over there. So when my oldest son was going to school, as parents we had to vote whether we would like to do the physical education in the gym or to ski. And guess what? The most of parents voted for going to the gym and not taking the skis to school.
So a couple nights ago, I took my sons, our 2 youngest sons, out to this giant wooden slide. It was pretty dark, even though it wasn't that late, but the sun sets early in winter over here. And there were lots of families there, and they were lined up on the slide and just sliding over and over and over again. And we're from Florida, my little boys and I, so we were kind of confused as to what to do. And all these moms started helping us learn how to navigate the slide and navigate the ice and not get hurt. and they're throwing my kids on different rafts with their kids and just acting like we're part of the family, which I thought was really cool and encouraging. Это мой сын? Круто, Макс! Давай, молодец! О, спасибо. О, боже. Oh, go! Ха-ха! Максимум! Oh, go! My lady.
And now look, all the snow is melting now, and look at this beautiful building. So that is Kievski railway station. It's a nice town. I really like this place.
So we're in the Europejski Mall looking for something to eat. That means European Mall, so it has supposedly a European look to it. Snow in the Russian Mall.
Now we are looking for a restaurant with a nice view of the snow.
American movie stars advertising clothes in a Russian mall. So Sveta, one of our first Russian dates was actually over there, looking out the window in this mall, having coffee with your friends. Unfortunately, we don't really have a good view of the snow here. It's raining and everything's starting to melt, but I'll try and put some snow inserts into the video later. Dostoevsky, a little bit colder. I got an answer. These things are metro ventilation. Snow on the roof of that church, more costume characters as we approach Red Square, and the Red Castle there has white roofs, so I don't know if that's snow or if that's just the roof. So you can see the bricks of Red Square has, you know, a little bit of snow on it, but not a lot. And that's Lenin's tomb again. You got some snow on the Christmas tree looking trees, and I believe there's a grave for Stalin back over there. So this right here is Lobное Mesto, covered in snow. My cameraman thought it was an execution block because that's what a lot of people think, but actually it's just a platform where they would make announcements, and they think it was built in 1530. So it is getting really cold. We're on the other side now. So there's the Kremlin. You see some snow under it. And we're going to go this way and see what Zargade Park looks like. So here's Zargade Park. My fingers are going numb. I can't stand it. But take a look. You got snow on the bushes. The soaring bridge is over that way. This hill right here is the fake mountain that I did at the end of that one video, Why Do I Live in Moscow? And yeah, it'll look even better, I think, in about a month when there's more snow on the ground as far as a winter wonderland looks. All right, so I am so grateful for my cameraman, Josiah, that I have with me because I don't have to have my fingers out because it is freezing right now. And I should have stayed back in the cafe with Svieta, but we got the glass crust behind me, and let's go up inside and see if it's actually green inside like it's supposed to be. So what do you think, Josiah?
It's great. It's not quite as green as it used to be. Maybe they're still working on it or something was wrong. But it's a little warmer up here and it's still got trees, so that's pretty nice.
Looks good to me. So we're walking down the path here in the greenhouse, so it's a little bit warmer. And I'm taking this opportunity to take off my hat, which I don't like to wear. But don't worry, it's not that cold. I know a lot of the subscribers are concerned about me not wearing a hat. But as I've said before, I get more views if I don't wear a hat. All right, so I'm coming out. I'm gonna go back to the cafe with Svieta. Ginger tea, 550 rubles. It's kind of a pricey restaurant. Some for my wife first, my Dievushka wife, and for me. So how's the tea, honey?
It's very tasty. So it's a ginger tea.
And what food did you order for us?
So for you, I ordered syrniki. It's a kind of a product made of cottage cheese with flour and some sour cream with strawberry jam. And for myself, I ordered broccoli soup.
So, what do you think of winter in Moscow? How does it compare to winter in your city? What do you have to do to survive winter? Click like, click subscribe, ring the bell notification, and click the box to see what happens next.